I'm at a campground a few miles outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and I want to visit Asheville while I'm here. Seems like a cool city, but it also has an above average crime rate, so I'm going to utilize all of the security that I have for my van. I won't be going there at night, but if I were, I have these little motion detector lights that I just bought recently, and I love them. I have one on each side of my van. They have little solar panels on the top side of them they run on. They'll turn on whenever somebody walks within 10 feet of my van after dark. They also light up whenever I leave the van to walk my dog at night. Most campgrounds are very dark after sunset so people can enjoy their campfires. So I'm loving the heck out of these lights. They're 2 for $20 on Amazon. I'll leave links for all these items. Another thing I have is a bicycle motion alarm. It's as loud as an old school car alarm. I put a magnet on one side and just put it out of reach on top of the van roof. It activates with a remote control. The great thing about this alarm is that it knows the difference between a wind gust and the jerking motion of someone pulling on the vehicle door handle. A wind gust won't set it off, whereas a thief always tries the door handle first, and that will set it off. This was less than $20, well worth it. These cheap little window stickers you can get on Amazon to warn people that there's an alarm and that I have devices like Apple AirTags that can track the van if it's stolen. Does it look like there's a man in my van? I got the idea when I was walking down the street one day and a car pulled up next to me at a stop sign, and I thought somebody was sitting in the passenger seat in a Halloween costume. No, it wasn't a person, it was a cartoon character on the headrest cover. This guy's face is from a photo I found on Google Images and had it printed on a pillowcase. Another cheap item, it was like $12 on Amazon. It's a little chilly today, so he's wearing a hoodie. Sometimes I just cover all the windows so people can't see what I have or what I don't have. When I first got on the road in 2017 in a Toyota Yaris, I made all of my own window covers out of Reflectix and black bed sheets. But when I realized how important window covers are for security, privacy, and temperature control, I spent the money to buy the best window covers you can get, which is from WeatherTech.com. I covered the black side of the window covers with felt because it's the only material that doesn't have a shine to it, so it just looks like the best limo tint ever from the outside. You can't even tell that they're window covers. This is the rear camera of a dash cam. I have one on each 4 sides of the van for security. This is where I can watch what those 4 little cameras capture on each side of my van without going outside. They're especially useful when I have all the windows covered at night. The motion lights help the cameras too after dark. This is the club. It's old school, and I know newer vehicles like this 2019 ProMaster can't be hot-wired, but if I'm at a campground for a week, or if I'm at the beach for the day, and I'm coming and going from the van multiple times to walk the dog or whatever, if I forget to take all 3 sets of keys with me each time, with the club left on the steering wheel, at least they can't steal the van. That would be devastating. It is my full-time house. As far as personal protection goes, I carry pepper spray all the time, especially since so many people are letting their dogs run loose lately. I have a small dog to protect. I take the advice from retired female cops that live this lifestyle, and that is, don't tell people whether or not you have a lethal weapon. Nobody needs to know either way. If someone does get inside my van, I keep my most expensive items locked up. This is my Zero Breeze off-grid air conditioner that can run on a generator or batteries. I keep it on my kitchen counter when I use it, but when I'm not using it, there are metal bars underneath the seat that I have it locked to. This little lithium battery generator, they don't make this particular one anymore. I've had it since I first got on the road in 2017, and it's still going strong. Everything else I've replaced since 2017. This powers everything on my dashboard like GPS, my dash cams, my iPhone. All too much for the 12-volt van outlet, so that's what I have this for. I also have a 1000-watt Jackery underneath that stuff locked to the seat. I have the Jackery as backup if the van electrical system fails, which it did happen one time. Back here are the batteries that are made to power the Zero Breeze air conditioner. 2 of them cost almost as much as the air conditioner, so they are also locked to the seat. And I have Apple AirTags taped to these items for tracking if they are stolen. This little thing has a flashing blue light, and it can be put in your windshield to warn that there's an alarm activated. I put a piece of Velcro on it to keep it in place. Very cheap item. I think it was $10. Another thing I can do is open up the roof vent and play an audiobook loud enough so that a voice can be heard coming from the van, using an audiobook with a male narrator. I don't know if all this security makes me seem paranoid or that this is a dangerous lifestyle. It's not. These are things I think up when I'm boondocking in my parents' driveway for months at a time, looking for excuses to order from Amazon. I belong to all the nomad groups on the internet. It's actually rare that people get victimized in this lifestyle, and it's usually because they've chosen to be around sketchy people, or they're spending too much time in high crime areas. E-bikes seem to be the most stolen items for nomads and RVers, so lock them up. Last but not least is my favorite alarm system. This cutie pie is Shrimpy. She's a Chihuahua Italian Greyhound mix, a rescue from Lufkin, Texas. We stayed at a campground right in Albuquerque, which is a high-crime city, and even though the campground was gated, a woman found her way inside the campground to see what she could steal. It was November, and my van was surrounded by RVs that were in storage at the campground for the winter, and apparently this woman was checking to see if any of the doors were unlocked so she could take whatever. It was midnight, and I was asleep and didn't hear anything, but Shrimpy did, and started a low growl that woke me up. And then I heard some rustling outside. Then the woman tried to open my van door, which was locked. So I banged on the window to scare her off, which worked. Shrimpy always lets me know if someone is too close to the van, day or night. Oh, come on. I swear she never licks herself, but the camera's on, so. Great timing, girl.